Our Love Talk, episode 2, First Date.
Today, but before the first date, we need to talk about how we got to the first date.
Yes, and before the first date, the first episode, if you missed it, is how we met online on a dating website.
So when we met online on a dating website, we found each other pretty attractive to each other. We started texting, and from texting, we started to text about almost every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
every day.
Almost every day, until there's one day I came home around 10-ish, almost 11. I text her and telling her about something, and then she was like, she wanted to know the whole story. And I said that because English is my second language, it's too hard to text. I text her that I'll tell you when we talk on the phone. Remember that time we have never talked on the phone yet. We talk about that we will in the future.
Yeah, we haven't even heard each other's voices.
Yes. I text her, when we get a chance to talk on the phone, I'll let you know. And my dear Linda says,
sometimes I'm very impatient, and that night I was very impatient because I really wanted to know. I'm impatient, but I'm also a very curious person. So I was so curious to her answer, and I cannot wait because it was like 11 something at night. So it was I can't wait until the next day. My curiosity was killing me, right? So I was a little bit demanding. I say, I want to talk now.
She said, no, the exact text was, no, I want to know it now. I'm like, okay, so that means I'm really attractive to you, because that's a little teeny bit rude. But I was like, okay, let me say something, because I just got home from classes, have to shower, have to eat. So when everything's ready, I went to my bedroom. I got my cell phone. I was very, very nervous. Remind you, this is my first online dating ever, and I never call anybody. Mm-hmm. She's very practically a stranger, even though we talk, right? So I called her. I give her a lot of like, you have to be prepared. I have an accent. English is my second language. Blah 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 blah.
And it's totally fine, as you could tell.
And Linda says, I don't care if I accent. I want to.
I say, your accent cannot be thicker and heavier than my mom.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. I hope you're not watching this episode.
Well, then, so I'm like, okay, there's no escape. She's determined.
Mm-hmm.
So I called her and I said, hello?
Mm-hmm.
And what was your first thought when that first hello?
So sweet. See, that's the thing about the connection, right? When you connect with somebody, it just flows. It flows from texting. No, actually, it flows from the messaging on the website, online. Then we exchange numbers to the texting, and it just flows. And it's like, not once did neither one of us ever like try to play games, like wait a little bit before you text back, or why do I text first? Why don't she text?
I look too desperate. No, those kind of thoughts never cross our mind.
Right.
So I totally just genuinely believe her when she said, no, I want to know now. Really, just as simple as that. So, and I can't lie, I'm curious how she sounds like too. So.
And what did you think of my voice when you first heard it?
So low and sexy.
So low.
Yeah, so low and sexy. And then I admit, when I was still a little bit shaking when I said the first hello. I was nervous or excited. I don't know, a very mixed feeling.
Probably both.
Yeah, and then hello, and there's a little bit wow moment, like, wow, this is the first time I heard each other's voice. Mm-hmm. But magically, ever since that second, we started chatting.
And that very first phone call, I think we chatted for over 3 hours, right, babe?
4 hours and 45 minutes. So we started chatting almost 12 o'clock, and then eventually I told her, Frank, it just flowed. The time flew just like
We talked about everything.
We didn't feel it.
Yeah.
She knows my history. I know her history. We talked about our philosophy, our thought, our core value. We joke around. It's like everything.
And it's hard, unless you've experienced it, it's hard to explain into words. Is when you're talking to somebody and you guys are like really connected and are in sync, it's like the way that I explained it to her, how I felt about us from the very beginning is the same page, same pace. It's like we're flowing at the same page, on the same page at the same pace. And it's like, it's effortless. It's, you could tell that I could tell that she wasn't compromising, forcing, pretending, faking. And I know for sure I wasn't. So it's just so easy. And so that's why that very first phone call was over 4 hours.
I never talked with anybody for that
and I'm not
long.
Nowadays everybody texts.
Yeah.
Right? Very rarely do people, call each other.
Talk on the phone for that long.
And
the first time.
Almost 5 hours the first day. The first time.
I was so sleepy, but I didn't want to hang up. But eventually I have to tell her, Linda, I have to work.
Yeah.
So that's, we said, but before we hang up, I said, Linda, I really want to meet you.
Yeah, she was kind of like the butch at the beginning.
No, it's just, I didn't think, I just like, we're gonna hang up, but I really want to see her in person. So I said, Linda, I really want to meet you.
She beat me to the punch. At the beginning, it's not like she was more aggressive than me. It's just that she's an Aries, right? So she's pretty fast and quick, and at the very beginning, she always seemed to be a step or two ahead of me in expressing what she wants. And I didn't even get a chance, like going on our first date.
So if I did not ask you,
of course I would ask you.
You would?
Yeah, because I wanna see your face. I wanna be around you. I wanna meet you.
So at that night, after the phone call, if I did not say it, and I just say, okay, I need to hang up, good night, would you ask?
I say, when are you free? Can I see you?
Oh.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, so I'm an Aries, I'm a fire. I do. I don't think. So anyway, yeah, I asked her out. And we set a date, which is a week from that day. So remember before, because I was so eager to meet her, and I'm not shy. I remember when I hang up, I was like, 7 more days. There's 7 more days to wait.
Yeah.
That was the longest 7 day ever.
Right.
Yeah.
So it happened really fast, right? We text, we call each other every single day, and then the day came when it was a Saturday in March of last year, 2019. So it's kind of sprinkly, misty, and stuff like that.
And I was sick.
And she was sick. She had a cold. So where I live, is an hour away from where she lives. So I drove to her. I told her, I'll pick you up, and then we go on a date. I was the one that planned out the date, the first date.
I thought I would give her a chance to be the butch in this situation. But actually, she was she's such a gentle woman. So I was sick prior to meeting for that week. Oh God, I tried everything. I eat Tylenol, I drink vitamin C, I eat fruit, I did everything I can to get over that day because I really want to meet her. But Linda, you actually said a day before, on Friday, said if I really didn't feel well, we should cancel it.
Right.
And I say no,
because I didn't want her to get worse,
I told her, if you don't mind, we're so polite at that time. I told her, if you don't mind me being coughing or sneezing, then I still really want to meet you.
Yes, and I was very happy.
Oh, you were?
I was very happy that she felt well enough to go on a first date. But I sincerely didn't want her to go on a date with me during winter and get worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, at that time, I already saw A Star is Born with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. And I love that movie. I love that soundtrack. I'm a big, big, big music lover, right? So I introduced her to the soundtrack, and she loved the music. And so it took not because at that time the movie was really old. So there's only one place that was playing it. So that's the very first thing that we did on our date is going to the movie.
However, there was a little bit obstacle from that date to happen because when she asked me on the phone, what do you want to do for the first time we meet? I said, why don't you surprise me?
Oh.
And then she was thinking, and she said, okay, I'll surprise you. However, we'll tell you about what her original plan was in another episode. But anyway, the weather did not allow, was sprinkling, right? It was raining.
Yeah.
So she had
Misty sprinkling.
So she had to change the plan. So then she introduced me to the soundtrack of Star Born. I was listening to the whole week. I love the sound. I love all of the music, all of the songs. So she decided to go on a very traditional date.
In a future episode, I'll share with you guys what was the original first date plan.
She was crazy to plan that on the first date. Well, we'll tell you about that some other episode. But back to our first date.
So it was a traditional date where we went on, we went to a movie, and then, okay, so I picked her up at 10 a.m., okay? We went to see the movie, Star is Born, and then after the movie, we had a late lunch, okay? And then after lunch, we got some coffee, right? So typical.
So prior for that date happened, I already had my outfit planned. I'm an all outfit person. I have to match. But it was too cold, so I have to change my outfit. My room was like a mess. I pulled out every piece of clothes and shoes and jacket and purse I have to find the perfect outfit for her. Because I want to look sexy, but still ladylike. So anyway, did it work?
Yes, it did. Yep.
So
She looked very nice, sexy, but like a lady, like she said. Not.
I did show her a little bit of skin.
Yes.
Mostly
you guys see the picture.
Yeah. So so we went for the movie. It was a beautiful movie. I cried. I know I was going to cry. I had my tissue paper prepared, so I was crying. I was very emotional.
And it's so funny when we look back on it. I knew she was going to cry because it's such a great movie. I knew there's certain scene that is emotional, right? And even though we connected from day one, sitting there next to her for the first time, and she's crying, and I'm a very PDA affectionate person, but I couldn't, I couldn't touch her, I couldn't hold her, I couldn't, do anything. So I just.
We were like this in the movie theater, big cheers. I was like,
and I'm like, where should I touch her? It's like, okay, it's okay.
She was like that, and I was like, oh, she's so cute. She doesn't know what to do.
Because, inside I wanted to, put my arms around and say, it's okay.
Like I cry like this.
Right.
That's how we cry. That's how I cry when I watch movies from now on. But at that time, she's a very gentle woman.
What you guys see right now that's just how we are. We're always touchy-feely. We're both very affectionate people. And I'm glad she's like that because I've always been like that. So yeah, that is like, I wanted to go like this. It's okay.
No, you didn't touch my head.
No, I didn't touch it.
She touched my arms like, okay. Oh. And then after the movie, you asked me, am I hungry? I said I was starving.
She said she was starving.
I'm a breakfast person, but that morning, in order to get ready for the first date, a girl has a lot of things to take care of. I didn't really have time for breakfast. I just ate one egg and that's it. So I'm starving.
And she's a very small, petite girl. So when she says she's starving, I'm thinking, oh, okay. She's not gonna, I don't think she's starving like she eats a lot. But you will see we order a medium size, so we went to an Italian restaurant.
And I do love Italian, but that's a restaurant she's familiar with. Mm-hmm. So I let her do all the ordering because frankly, I eat everything.
So I was like, okay, for appetizer, I say, so you're starving? She said yes. And I say, okay, so for appetizer, a seafood mix plate, something, right? It's good size, right? And that's an appetizer that we're going to share. And then I say, you gotta try the lasagna. The meat lasagna is really good.
And I'm like, I love lasagna.
And she said, I love lasagna. Oh, and then before I asked her, I said, do you want soup or salad? She said, no, thank you.
No, my soup is okay. I can pass the salad.
And then I say, how about pizza?
Ooh.
Because they're known for pizza, right? Mm-hmm. So then, they have small, medium, large. So I say, you want a small? And she said, I'm really hungry or something like that. I said, okay.
So thank God she ordered a medium. Not a large, she ordered a medium pizza.
Okay, long story short.
We're chatting and eating and drinking, having a good time.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't finish the lasagna.
She was full already, and I was trying to be polite. And there's a half of lasagna left, and I said, are you gonna eat the lasagna anymore?
I was shocked. I was like, wow. Wow. I mean, look at me. I'm a big girl, right? I'm a big woman, but she could out-eat me.
And then you let me, you asked me, do you want more? Mm-hmm. I'm like, yes. Can I finish it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So instead of being polite and cut the lasagna to my plate, Linda actually bring the entire container of lasagna in front of me, and bada bing, bada boom, I finished it.
She finished it. And the leftover, the to-go, she finished that too. Mm-hmm. Not the same day, but, later on.
So after that, before the first date, I did text Linda that I have a thing. I'm very easygoing, but I have a thing like 3 o'clock-ish. I want my Starbucks or coffee.
She loves Starbucks.
So we're in the car. After the lunch, we're in the car, and that was the moment that, okay, what should we do now, right? I frankly, it's supposed to be the end, right? You have your movie, you have your lunch, that's the end of the day, but I don't want it to end, and I really enjoy spending time with her, but she's not doing anything. So I have to ask her, I would really like to have some Starbucks right now. Mm-hmm. And you said,
okay, sure. Let's go get some Starbucks.
How did you feel at that time?
I'm glad that you didn't want me to take you home. Yeah, because it was getting late. That's a first date, right? So it's your typical first date. Your movie, your lunch.
A very late lunch, by the way.
Late lunch. Mm-hmm. Or, movie and a meal. Mm-hmm. Whether it's lunch or dinner, then that's it, you go home. But obviously we both didn't want it to end. So we went to Starbucks. And then, long story short, we spent over 2 hours at Starbucks. Okay, just talking.
Just talking.
We talk a lot.
We talk a lot. Well, look what are we doing right now?
I love talk.
We're still talking. Yeah, so at Starbucks, we just continue talking because usually on a first date, you don't get to talk in the movie theater.
Right.
Lunchtime, we talk a little bit more, but obviously we carry on our conversations to Starbucks. And we forgot about time. It was bright outside. By the time we stopped, it's already dark. And the only reason we went out is just we realized that she might park in a time limit zone.
Right.
So we rushed out in the car, and Linda drove me home.
Right.
And now... So...
And now this is where... I hope my parents are not watching or her family member are not watching because she's a good girl.
Oh, who cares? They're all over.
We're just joking.
They're all over 21. So
yeah.
Anyway, so she took me home, and the car was
now it's late. It's like 9ish.
Yeah,
8:30,
9ish.
Yeah.
The car is parked, And then I was like sweating, debating, believe it or not, my hands are sweating, I'm nervous. It's like on the way driving back, I was like, I really don't want to end this, but do I really, can I? Anyway, when she parked.
All that was in my head.
Too?
Yeah, because I wanted to kiss you. We haven't kissed yet.
You said it too fast.
Oh.
So, when I parked, I said, is this the time that I'm supposed to ask you up for a drink?
Yes, and I say, what did I say? I say,
yes, because
I want to kiss you.
And that got me.
Just in the parking lot, still inside
the car. When she said that, I wasn't expect her to answer me like that because she wants to kiss me. So, it got me off balance. I was extra nervous. I'm a good girl. I'm really a good girl my whole life. I never took someone to go home at that late of time in my whole life. And anyway, so I was carrying the thing. When I opened the door, I could hardly walk. I went off balance. Yeah.
That was so cute.
So we came back home and we're sitting on the couch, pretty distant, and facing each other and talking and talking and talking. And during that talk, I was like, where's the kiss that she was promised?
Because I was like, where's the drink that you promised me?
I was so nervous. Even though I asked her up for a drink, I think that's typically what you do. I never ever gave her any drink.
Right. And so we sat and talked for another 30 minutes. And then, bada bing, bada boom. I never got the drink.
But she kissed me.
But I got the kiss and more. And we had breakfast the next morning together. And that's how our first date went. The next episode 3, I think we need to flash back to the conversation we had at the movie theater.
Okay. So
you guys won't believe what we talked about at the movie theater before the movie on our first date.
Oh yes. Lots of things happened on the first date, which led to second and third dates.
Yes, but what do we want? What's the point of sharing our first date with people? For me, I want to say that because we're both over 40, so when we met each other, she was in her early 40s. I'm in my late 40s. Okay, so if you're still looking for love and you haven't found it yet, don't give up. Because next episode, I will tell you, we will share with you the conversation we had on our first date.
And the life-changing story after she met me. It's destiny. So if you are looking for love, no matter how old you are, never give up. Send out the good vibration to the universe. The universe will reward you with true love.
Yes. And we also believe in the law of attraction. So in one of these episodes we talk about that. But definitely next episode I want to go back, because this is getting kind of long, right? I want to go back to this conversation that I shared with her on our first date before watching the movie. And that whole conversation is like, who knew? We didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
The universe working secretly for us. Well, we'll see you next week.
Next week, every Tuesday. If you have a question for us, please leave a comment, and then we'll answer it in the future episode for both of us, for one of us.
Any question about online dating, first date, or a question for us, any curiosity you have about us or what we're thinking, feel free to leave a comment.
Advice, love advice, because this is love talk. So make sure you subscribe, like, and share.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye, lovers and dreamers.